And I call Aphra Brandreth.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship today. And can I also thank and congratulate the Honourable Member for Paisley and Renfrewshire South for securing today's debate on such an important topic and for speaking so powerfully on it. Last month, I visited Ukraine alongside colleagues on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and I want to pay tribute to all the officials of our government and the Ukrainian parliamentarians and officials that we met on the ground who are working tirelessly on this issue. During our visit, we met with representatives of Save Ukraine, an organisation that are committed to helping rescue and return children. At the time of our visit, they had successfully returned more than 612 children, an heroic effort. Yet, as we've heard today, an unacceptably high number remain missing, at least 19,000 identified, and almost certainly many, many thousands more. I want to share one account that I heard whilst in Ukraine. Just outside of Kyiv, I visited a children's centre where I spoke with two young people who had been taken by Russia. Although both now, thankfully, safely returned home to Ukraine, I cannot understate how clearly traumatising this experience had been for them and the impact of hearing their stories. The young man had been separated from his mother and his 5 siblings, taken to Russia to be re-educated. In reality, he was sent to a military camp where Ukrainian children are taught to forget their culture and their home, and through indoctrination are trained to forget all they once knew of a peaceful life in Ukraine and taught to be fighters, potentially one day against their own families. This is a truly horrific and often unreported consequence of Putin's barbaric invasion of Ukraine. Chair, yesterday, those of us on the Foreign Affairs Committee met with our counterparts from the Rada's Foreign Affairs Committee. We heard how Russia is targeting orphanages to take children. These are vulnerable children who have suffered a great deal of trauma already and now are being subjected to even more. We also heard of the difficulty in getting these children back. Their locations often unknown to Ukrainian authorities, their surnames changed. It is clear that we must do more to support Ukraine in its efforts to identify, find and return these young people. Both the previous government and the current one have stood by Ukraine with regards to military support, and I know that our Ukrainian friends are incredibly grateful for our unity on this. I also want to urge the Minister here today to continue to provide humanitarian assistance through overseas development aid. Earlier this year, I agreed with the Prime Minister's decision to reallocate a portion of the ODA budget to bolster the defence budget, given the challenges and security problems that we currently face. But can I ask the Minister that when he has discussions with officials and his colleagues at the Treasury ahead of the publishing of the final outturn and future planned allocations annual report and accounts, that he reiterates the need of the Ukrainian people, particularly these children who have been kidnapped, and their families, and supports efforts and organisations and schemes to see them returned. We need the allocation of the ODA budget to be spent on vital causes, not vanity projects, and I'm sure all here will agree with me that the issue we are debating today is of the utmost importance. Mr. Stewart, since the start of the war, over 600 children have been killed, 1,900 injured, and at least 19 sexually abused. In this conflict, sexual violence is being used systematically, a grotesque weapon of war. Russia's actions violate the Geneva Conventions, international humanitarian law, and UN Security Council Resolution 1261. We must not stand by. Russia is not just waging war on Ukraine's borders, it is waging war on Ukraine's future, trying to erase an entire generation. They're not just abducting children, they are trying to annihilate a national identity. I have heard 2 stories firsthand, but there are thousands more. We must see Ukraine's stolen children returned. Thank you.